Hey yo, black men. So check it, right? Boom. I was thinking about something I said in my last video. How that I like to generalize, when it comes to black women, which I do. You know what I'm saying? Granted, I don't know every single black woman. It would be impossible for me to know every single black woman. But what I do know as a black man, the bad options of black women are hyper available to you. You know, and I wrote that clip for you guys. So before I get into that, like I said, the bad options are hyper available. When you go out in public, again, black women, they're attracted to cities for nightlife. So if you take the nightlife approach to go out and go meet black women, you're gonna only meet the ones who are hooking up, one night stands, cheating on her boyfriend, cheating on her husband, going out acting a fool, belligerent, disruptive, getting arrested, all types of nonsense, right? But again, how many of those bad ones do you have to go through before you meet a good one? Black men who are listening to this video right now, ask yourself, if you're 25, 30, 35, 40, 50, and you still date black women and you feel like you met that quote unquote good one, how many women, how many years of dating did it take to meet that good one? I bet you didn't meet that good one when you were a young man. Mm. I bet you didn't meet that good woman when you were in high school or when you were in college. Somehow, some way, you just so happened to meet this so-called good woman at 30 years old, 35 years old, 40 years old. And see, right, in that first clip, you got the young girls from the sorority Alpha Kappa Alpha, right, aka, and they're known for having the I guess the most attractive young members. And regardless of the sorority group, right? One thing I do realize about black women who are in these sororities, at least these caliber of women are the ones that I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the hood rat. I'm not talking about the bust down project joint. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about the one who was getting smashed in the bathroom in high school or on the staircase in the building. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the ones who are college alumni and or sorority members. You know what I'm saying? Because usually, and again, I used to live in Atlanta for a couple years during college. That's how that city is structured. Like the city of Atlanta is structured. I think it has the most, excuse me, or at least it's somewhere in the top three cities with the most. I think college or well, is it college graduates or is it sorority and fraternity members? I think it's fraternity members, but usually those people are college graduates. But I think the stat was off of the sorority and fraternity members, right? In Atlanta, it's like top three. I think it's Atlanta, DC, and somewhere else. But again, two progressive, quote unquote, black cities. And these girls who are these college alumni, sorority members, it's funny to me because these are the black women who shock you the most. Again, you would think these girls usually coming from two parent homes, coming from, parents that are pretty well established. Again, I've dated all of them, dude. AKAs, Deltas, Poodles. And again, for the most part, they come from two parent homes. Mom is doing pretty well, dad's doing pretty well. Again, she might or might not have been in the projects. I mean, usually if they do, that's when she was like very young. Like this is usually the storyline. But for the most part, when she graduated high school, dude, her parents were living in a big house. Probably a pool in the backyard. Her first car that she ever received was a paid off car. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen this multiple times, dude. multiple times to where it's a pretty common story amongst them. And then they go off to corporate America, and for the most part, they have pretty decent jobs. You know what I'm saying? But again, in college and throughout college, or a little bit after, in that early 20s, mid 20 phase. Now, mind you, these same college alumni and or sorority women, right? When it comes to their dating options during college and after college, you realize something, right? They still go for Tyrone. The same way how the hood chick, the same way how, the project bust down joint, the same way how the majority of black women chase after Tyrone, these same college girls run after him as well. Now you would think that because she's going, to college, black people, they love to equate common sense with education, and that's not how that works. You know what I'm saying? So just because you're getting an education doesn't mean you have common sense. Again, common sense isn't always common, right? These same black women, and I think it's due to the pressure of the culture, because for a black woman, again, the guys who I make the content for, the 10%, and I would add on to that 15, I would add on to that 10%, 15%, making it around 25%. So the 25% of black men that black women are really not checking for, it's a larger percentage than that 25%. But that 25% are a very specific category of black men. And those black men that they don't check for, they would actually make good pairings with those guys. Those guys might even be some of the guys they are attracted to. It's just the fact that her friends aren't attracted to those guys. And as a group, right, and not her particular friend group, well, that plays a part as well, but black women as a whole, right, aren't checking for those kind of guys. So when they do try to show interest in those kind of guys, usually they get picked on, they get laughed at, they get teased. And if she does give you a chance, trust me, everybody around her is in her ear telling her, listen, get rid of him. And it's funny to me that they do that because, again, having experience dealing with those particular kind of women from that educational background, you would think that things will kind of, run smoothly. At least both of you guys are educated, both of you guys are striving towards something. Trust me, you are actually her backup plan. You are actually just somebody who she's trying to just, come up off of. It's funny how black women, it's like they hit the draft pick for Tyrone. Like they're trying to find the lottery pick Tyrone. And again, when you're in college, dude, most of the black men are not dating these attractive black women, dude. If you're not even in a fraternity, or you're not on a sports team, and not only on a sports team, but somebody who's actually recognizable, who's well known, somebody who's getting publicity on the team, man, you're not gonna be with those attractive black women. You feel me? You'll be with like those 2 out of 10s, 3 out of 10s. You know what I'm saying? And again, you can like whatever you want to like, but I'm not looking for a three, and I'm not looking for a two. And again, the bad options, yeah, you realize that the majority of black women there, they're not really checking for you, but the bad options are available. Even some of the more attractive bad options, it's like, all right, if this wasn't wrong with you, you wouldn't be looking for me. And again, like I said, when you're in college, dude, you see these girls, especially black women, they don't date guys who are even on campus. They might have like a little fling, but they're dating guys who are off campus, dude. I can tell you so many times as a freshman or a sophomore. By my junior year, I did have my own apartment, so I wasn't on campus no more. But by that time, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, bro, freshman and sophomore year, I'm seeing guys pull up in Audis, BMWs, pulling up in Scat Packs, pulling up in just anything foreign or loud and muscle. And you're thinking at the age of 18, 19, 20, man, how are these guys affording these cars? She's not messing with the average brother on a college campus. You feel me? She messing with 5'7" King. You feel me? She messing with hollow tip Roger, black face man, crip face man. You know what I'm saying? She messing with all of the hood dudes. I remember one time, I just got a job, right? The job was in Midtown. It was a construction job, and I didn't last long. But at that time, I was talking to this one girl at a different school, not too far away, and on the phone, she told me how her last boyfriend drove an Audi. I'm like, huh? I'm like, I didn't ask her, but I'm like, what is that supposed to mean to me? You know, that your old dude used to drive an Audi, but one thing about it is it's not about him driving an Audi. It's the fact that he was Tyrone. Again, when you're 18, 19, if your parents didn't buy you that Audi, how are you gonna have an Audi? What job are you working at that allows you to afford an Audi at 18, 19 years old? But again, they're not messing with guys of their age group. Like, uh, college is no different from high school. When I went into high school, all of the freshman girls were getting smashed on by juniors and seniors. You get into college freshman year, all of the girls are getting smashed on by the juniors and by the seniors. The guys that get off campus apartments, the guys who aren't even students. These guys are walking around college campus with a book bag, don't attend no classes, but they're picking up numbers and all types of stuff. Dude, it's crazy. And again, as a freshman in college or a sophomore, even when you're a junior and senior, your competition are the guys who don't go to the school. And black colleges, or well, HBCUs in general, are always in the hood. Again, I was messing with girls from Spelman. I'm messing with girls from Clark Atlanta. Georgia State is right down the street. Georgia Tech, I mean, it's more foreigners, but you still have some people there. You know what I'm saying? You have Oglethorpe, not too far away. You have Agnes Scott College, which is a all female school. Kennesaw State, not too far away. Clayton State, not too far away. Like I've messed with all of them at all these colleges, bro. And your biggest competition as a young man in college is the off campus. Um, well, he's not a student, so let me not say off campus. Your biggest competition is the drug dealer, the well known fraternity member, or the well known football or basketball player, right? Maybe one of the track stars, maybe one of the baseball players as well. But mainly the basketball and the football player. And again, the girls that usually have access to those kind of guys are probably going to be the black women you want to be with. You know what I'm saying? Again, that whole structure thing with the what they call it, dude. Like the whole dynamic structure of how school goes, popular people with the popular people and stuff like that. But it's funny how even as those guys who are well known on the campus, they still can't compete with the hood Tyrone because I'm telling you, most girls go for the hood Tyrone. Most of them, I would say like 85%. There was a girl who graduated with a STEM major, right? I think she was like, if I'm saying it right, cum laude. Yeah, if I'm saying that right, that's like the second person who graduates with the highest GPA. Listen, in a STEM major, she was dating and got pregnant by a hood Tyrone. I remember she posted her baby pictures on Instagram from the baby shower, and like I said, bro, these hood chicks, I'm sorry, these college alumni chicks, they come from good backgrounds. They come from backgrounds where their parents work great jobs, like two-parent household, mom and dad, no step parents, you know, big house, nice community, pool in the backyard. She got her first car in high school or early college paid off for her. You know what I'm saying? Like it was crazy. But they choose Tyrone as well. And that's why I said in the black community, they try to equate common sense with education. Well, wouldn't it be common sense to not get with the thug? To not get with a man who can't provide? I mean, yeah, he might provide in the initial current time, but like his lifestyle doesn't allow him to provide for a long period of time. You know what I'm saying? Like he's selling drugs, he's scamming, he's robbing people. Again, the chick with the STEM major got pregnant by a dude with face tattoos and neck tattoos. And I'm not judging nobody because you have tattoos, but one thing I realized about people who have tattoos, especially on the face and on your neck, I'm like, dude, you can't trust them guys. Because once you put a tattoo on your face, that's done. Good luck even getting jobs at McDonald's. I mean, they do have people with face tattoos working at McDonald's, but it's like, come on, bro, really? Because any professional job is done. Unless you go work like a blue collar job and a blue collar job that actually wants to hire you, because why hire you with a face tat and they can go hire the next young brother who doesn't have that face tat, and he could be just as or even more skilled than you. Matter of fact, he can be less skilled than you. It's the fact that he looks presentable. When these companies hire you, do two things, especially if you live in a city like Atlanta, right? Your HR is a black woman. Tyrones don't ever hardly have jobs because black women know not to hire those kind of black men for the job. The white man doesn't want you around his company. He doesn't want you around the property business. Like Tyrones don't get respect outside of the streets. That's why I talked about it before, but guys can thug max, guys can go ahead and get the tattoos, you get the dreadlocks, start sagging your pants, you start toting guns and you jump into street activities. You can do that kind of stuff, but that stuff doesn't really get you a pass outside of the streets. You know what I'm saying? Once you want to become legit, once you want to go corporate, once you just want to have a regular life, like you picked up on too many negatives from the culture. Like that's one aspect of the culture that black people, black men and black women should not adapt to. You know, if that wasn't the environment you grew up in, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? But again, outside of that environment, it doesn't get respect. But again, again, black women they go out their way for those kind of guys. And again, it's during college, it's after college as well, because you still realize, yeah, even though she's a college alumni, even though she is a sorority chick, even though she has a high paying corporate job, like you still go out your way to look for Tyrone. And now that they actually have the money, because this is what plays into the part about the whole feminism thing. I think it was like the second wave of feminism, and I hate to bring this up, but women working, it's only to increase the Tyrone gene. Like now, think about it. When women say, especially black women, I'm strong and I'm independent, or I'm independent now, independent from who? You know what I'm saying? At one point, America was dependent on Great Britain, right? Now it's no longer dependent on them. So now you become an independent country. Black women, who were they dependent on? The black man. And again, it wasn't Tyrone. Like I'm pretty sure things have kind of always been the same as far as since slavery has ended. And it's no diss towards Tyrone, but for the most part, once we came out of bondage, I mean, the black men who were making the community progress, it wasn't Tyrone. It was the thinking black man. You know what I'm saying? It was the black man who had a plan. And that's not to say that Tyrone didn't have plans, but again, Tyrone, he's not thinking farther than, what's right in front of him. You got the guys who are thinking long term, and these were the guys who were able to make money and provide for families. Again, for whatever reason, black women feel like these guys, oh, he wasn't 6'5", oh, he wasn't 250, oh, he didn't have Max John, or maybe his hair went bald when he was 25. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. Oh, he has a beard. You know what I'm saying? Just petty stuff like that. But yeah, that's why they say, I'm strong and I'm independent. I'm independent from who? The black men that I don't want to be with. So now that we have careers, we have money, we can just pay for a man. And that's something that black women are really good for. Black women love paying for a man. At some point, they always reach a point in life where the man they want to be with, they have to pay for him. I'm telling you, that's something that all black women go through. The guy they want to be with, they have to pay for. I mean, that's fine. That's all cool with me. I don't mind. Listen, it just opens up the door for you as a black man. You realize, well, ain't no chick paying for me. Ain't no chick out here, breaking her neck to get with me. You know what I'm saying? No female's going out her way to offer me a good deal, because even when black women do, kind of get at you, it's hardly ever the ones you want to be with. And if it's anyone that's at least decent, what's wrong with you? Like, you wouldn't have sought me out if something wasn't wrong with you. What, you need some money, you need some bills paid, you trying to get out of debt, like you're a single mom, you fat, you got diseases or something like that. What's the problem? You know what I'm saying? Because she wouldn't have looked for you if it wasn't for giving you a bad deal. And again, the brothers who went to college, again, I'm seeing how these are the guys who always get offered the bad deals. Always, always, always get offered the bad deal. Any black man that is educated, responsible, they get offered the worst deals by black women. That's why it's funny how these same black men are the black men who get to be with other races of women, because black women, they don't, the same black men who they overlook are the black men that non-black women would love to be with. And the black men that black women pick, non-black women, I mean, maybe she might hook up with Tyrone, but they kind of know better that, all right, Tyrone long term, he's not going to be, a good deal. Like, he's going to have the family poor, he's going to have the family starving, and it's going to be only on me, and I will be a single mom. Now, Tyrones don't try to be, deadbeat dads. The mother do run them away in some cases, but then you have cases where these guys end up in prison or they end up dead. And again, why would you pick a man who's living a lifestyle that can end him up in prison long term, or end him up in a casket? But the fact that they're irresponsible, the fact that these guys, you know, are easily disposable, because you, as the black man who's well rounded, the thinking black man, again, okay, she might be able to point at, oh, you're not tall. You're gonna leave a man because he's not tall. You're gonna leave a man because you feel like his lifestyle was too predictable. It was too boring for you. The fact that he goes to work, come home, and he can do that on repeat, but he's providing a great life for his children and family and his wife. That's too boring for you. I need excitement. I need my man to be tough. Uh, all right, cool, cool. Anyways, black man, you see where I'm going with this? You see how I'm connecting the dots? Again, it's always the same ones, right? Because don't be fooled by that college degree. Don't be fooled by her sorority group. Don't be fooled by her career. It's just a bait and switch, dude. They still have the same bad attitude. They still have the same neck rolling, eye rolling, finger snapping. You feel me? They still got the same narcissistic behavior. They still have the same backwater mindset. They still have that same nigga plantation love. They still have all of that in them, dude. It's just the fact that she has a nice package on the outside, right? It's packaged right, but it's still wrong. You feel me? It's it's still a cheap product. Anyways, black men, I'm out. Peace.